Hello, welcome back to our channel where we bring you the latest news and updates on the world of entertainment. Since Despicable Me came out in 2010, the $3.7 billion franchise has grown to become one of the most successful of all time. Every 2 to 3 years, sequels and even spin-off prequels are released, making sure that the series stays popular. In this video, we'll be discussing everything we know about the highly anticipated fourth installment of the popular animated film series, Despicable Me. Fans have been eagerly awaiting for the next chapter in the adventure of Gru and the Minions, and we have some exciting details to share with you about Despicable Me 4, set to be released in 2024.
At the AVL anymore.
No! Trey Parker played the new bad guy in Despicable Me 3. The movie had a huge run in theaters. Chris, the CEO of Illumination, talked about his plans for the franchise after the movie did well. Chris thought that making an animated franchise could be limiting, but he saw Despicable Me 4, which was already in the works, as the exception. Now that Despicable Me 4 has a release date, Steve Carell has given some hints about the plot. Here are more details about the upcoming movie Despicable Me 4, like who else will be in it and what'll happen. Illumination has kept the plot of Despicable Me 4 a secret, but Gru's voice actor, Steve Carell, talked to Digital Spy about his time in the voice booth and told them where Gru and his family will start their journeys in the next movie. He said that Gru and his family will fight together in the Anti-Villain League in the Despicable Me 4 story. It's the next step in their world with the Anti-Villain League and how their kids are included in the whole thing, said the actor from The Office. Gru and Lucy are married and have kids at this point. Gru and his little family haven't been on screen for 6 long years. In 2017, Despicable Me 3 came out. So why are we waiting? After 5 years, Illumination and Universal Pictures have confirmed that Despicable Me 4 will happen, and they have said that it'll start filming in February 2022. No one knows why there was such a long time between episodes. Maybe it's because people are paying more attention to the Minions movie now, and the second one is a lot better than the first one. Despicable Me 4 will keep telling the story of Gru and his family no matter what. The release date for Despicable Me 4 has been set by Universal Pictures and Illumination. This new part will come out in theaters on July 3rd, 2024, which is the same day that an untitled Illumination animated film came out. Like most movies that came out during the pandemic, Despicable Me 4 could be streamed on Peacock, NBC's Universal streaming service, at least 30 days after its premiere. As part of a long-term licensing deal between the two companies, it will move to Netflix after a 4-month window.
Tell you what, every unicorn you find, you can bring it home. I better build a big pet.
So far, only 4 actors have been confirmed as part of the cast for Despicable Me 4. Gru is voiced by Steve Carell, The Office, and his wife Lucy Wilde is voiced by Kristen Wiig, Bridesmaids. Steve Coogan is back as Silas Ramsbottom. Miranda Cosgrove is back as Gru's oldest daughter, Margot, and Despicable Me 4 viewers can also expect more shenanigans because Pierre Coffin will be voicing them again. Coffin is also heard in the movie Minions: The Rise of Gru, which is a sequel. Despicable Me 4 will have Margot in it, but what about Gru and Lucy's other daughters? In the 3 Despicable Me movies, only one of the girls has been replaced. Elsie Fisher, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, played Angus in the first 2 movies, and Neve All Rise played her in the third. So it's likely that Dana, The Secret Life of Kyle, will play Edith again, and Neve will play Angus again. Even though the plot of Despicable Me 4 is still a secret, the movie is expected to be at least as good as its predecessors, if not better. Based on what Steve Carell has said and the plots of the first 3 movies, Despicable Me 4 might be about another world-ending event caused by a supervillain that only Gru's skills can stop. While Gru and his family are working with the Anti-Villain League, the project will be led by Chris, who directed Despicable Me 1 and 2, as well as the Lorax. Mike White, who wrote The White Lotus, is writing the script. Chris is making Despicable Me 4 just like he has done with all the other Illumination movies.
And here she is, the fearless unicorn hunter, seeking—
Edith, stop it!
You're gonna scare away the unicorn.
We can't deny the ending of Minions Rise of Gru shows that we need another Despicable Me prequel. Minions Rise of Gru is a fun watch because it shows Gru as a young supervillain, but the ending shows that we still need another Despicable Me prequel. Rise of Gru helps build the world of Despicable Me franchise by showing how Gru got his cute minions started, showing his first evil inventions for taking over the world, and telling us more about Gru's childhood in the 1970s. It does all of those things very well. His joining the Vicious Six is a hilarious parody of the Legion of Doom, and characters like Wild Knuckles are just as memorable as Vector, who is played by Jason Segel. By the end of the movie, Gru isn't quite the jerk that fans know and love. This suggests that another Despicable Me prequel is needed to fill in the blanks and show how Gru changed. Rise of Gru comes after Minions, which ended with Kevin, Bob, and Stuart finding Gru at the Queen of England's Jubilee. Rise of Gru is a lot like Minions, as it's mostly about the little yellow characters and what they do, especially after Wild Knuckles takes Gru.
Gentlemen, to the Gru Cave!
Gru's backstory could be developed more, especially how he goes from being a happy child to a mean supervillain, and how he uses his friendship with Wild Knuckles to become an even better leader of the Minions. Gru may not have made it into the Vicious Six, but Wild Knuckles' advice shows him that even bad people need help from their friends. It's clear that this is supposed to make Gru and the Minions get along better, but this idea doesn't get much attention until the end of the movie. Minions has become the new Shrek, with the quirky little characters running one of the most popular animated franchises in recent years. So it's not surprising that they're at the center of Rise of Gru. But this only happens because Gru is captured by White Knuckles and the Vicious Six chase after the Minions as they try to save him. The movie is really about the Minions proving their loyalty to Gru, not Gru turning into their grumpy leader. Between the Rise of Gru and Despicable Me, Gru's teenage and young adult years will be filled with setbacks to show his change. Rise of Gru can have at least one more sequel, which would finish the trilogy. In this one, a cocky Gru tries to balance bank robberies and art heists with prom and a summer job. This movie is a prequel to Despicable Me. It shows why Gru's bad dreams don't come true and why he becomes more and more isolated as he obsesses over his biggest bad win. Catching glimpses of all of his signature behaviors that come from his childhood will be a fun Easter egg, especially if they connect directly to the Despicable Me trilogy. As of right now, there is no trailer for Despicable Me 4 since the movies don't come out until the summer of 2024. You shouldn't expect a trailer to come out soon. It's possible but not likely that a teaser will come out at the end of 2023. However, it's much more likely that any promotional material for Despicable Me 4 won't come out until early 2024. That is a wrap on everything we know about Despicable Me 4. From what we've gathered, it seems like this upcoming film will be just as entertaining and enjoyable as its predecessors. With new characters and a fresh storyline, it's sure to captivate both old and new fans alike. As we eagerly await for the release date, we'll continue to keep you updated with any new info that surfaces. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates on upcoming movies, TV shows, and video games. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll never miss a new download. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
That I'm going to do. And believe me, they're gonna be some awful things.